subversive activity. I mean, just some crazy shit. And
they took the recordings that were there. They took
everything. They took every recording that was in the house. They took every piece of fan mail, every video cassette from bootlegs to official releases. They took hard drives. Lyrics. They were very, very into lyrics is what they were most interested in. So they took published lyrics, unpublished lyrics, everything. So, yeah, they had all that stuff for 2 years. We eventually got it back after it was all done. But, yes, it was quite invasive, man. And again, when there's people in your home taking everything that you have and pointing a finger saying, hey, you're a bad guy. You know, you're not an artist. You have ulterior motives. And you're raising 2 young kids, and you know, I thought I was just a dad that was, you know, had this art hobby, you know, did some, you know, weekend warrior kind of music stuff at that point, you know.
And something you're an enemy of the state.
Exactly, and you know, within the course of a year, I lost my brother in Sabre Machine, and then it was like the first one was a punch in the gut, and the second one was a kick in the fucking balls, man, straight up. So, but not bitching and whining about it. Just there's a lot to recover from, man, and the reason that Legend never got completed and why it has to stay where it is, it's directly connected to that, man. All that shit that I was doing, the burning of the UN flags and all that heavy Middle Eastern imagery, and yeah, you know, I don't have to rehash all that stuff. You know, you can watch videos on YouTube. That stuff in 1999, you know, I guess just bad timing, you know. We know why. I can't get into that part of the book, it's too complicated, but we know now why. But you know what, it still took 2 years from my life, and then 2 years from my wife's life, you know, and in some way 2 years from my kid's life, because even though Cindy and I did everything we could to keep it from them and to keep the reality of what was going on for them, keep a sense of normalcy in the house with our babies, it became increasingly difficult. And you can put on the best show in the world on the outside, but kids are amazingly bright and insightful. And when you're hurting and you're scared, kids can see it. You know, I'm thankful I can be a decent actor at times. There were times where I had to be, you know. But I'm telling you, I wouldn't do it again, man. It was the hardest thing I ever did, was to try to keep them safe through all that. Just keep them feeling like normal kids, you know. And just keep them out of that early primal violation of their childhood, you know. So yes, that sort of shit gets heavy, and you know, you got to put your priorities where they need to go. And Legend, no matter how big, no matter how great, no matter how fucking ambitious, and no matter how important it was for me to finish it, my fucking family, you know, was everything. And only get one shot to be a dad, you know. So I went into survival mode. Survival mode, try to keep my family surviving, and we made it through it. But anybody who knows about PTSD will tell you that the real repercussions, the real cause and effects, the symptoms, the behavior, the chaos that kind of goes through a mind as you're starting to realize that your nerves, your entire nervous system is now connected to all kinds of shit you can't control, you know. And this is some fucked up stuff, and I wish I could articulate it better. I'm sure there are plenty of soldiers that can, but it's a real thing, man. And I'm not sure if there's a real cure for it. It's once the nerves have been affected, once the psyche's been affected by such a fucking traumatic event. And it wasn't a one day. Yes, one day was the single most traumatic part of it. The first day, October 19th, 99. And that 16 hours of just feeling like you're in the worst Twilight Zone episode of all time, you know. And then when it gets really scary is later on, though, when you realize, oh shit, this is real, this is actually happening. This is the real FBI. do you finish something that requires your complete and full attention if you can't even give it 5%, 10% of your attention? I couldn't give it 1% of my attention for 2 years. And then the problem is this, brother, and this is really what it comes down to. By the time I have felt free enough from the aftermath of what had gone down,